Joining us. And I want to say a special thank you for all of the leaders, the workforce who showed up yesterday, right, helping to create an awareness with regards to our new venue. So let me give you 1 second. How do you like the venue? It's sweet, right? All right. Awesome. Nice space. Okay, so thank you so much. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Good to see everybody. I might not be able to mention your name because of time, but just now I'm seeing you, and I will give you a warm hug after club meeting this evening. All right. So we are looking at quick understanding. Somebody say quick understanding.
Quick understanding.
Say it again, quick understanding.
Quick understanding.
So all through the month of April, what we are going to be looking at as a club, all right, we're going to be focused on quick understanding. Now, this teaching series is very, very timely. If you ask me, I tell you it's very timely. Have you seen your calendar? You've seen your calendar. So when is your exam coming up from your calendar? 7th, 27th of this month. 27th of this month.
It is like true.
So if 27 is sounding unreal to you, man, just know that quick understanding is for you. You need to understand quickly, very, very quickly. All right, so it's an exam month, and I think I have a responsibility to teach you how to understand effectively, how to read effectively, how you can understand quickly. All right, so just follow me through. We're going to start the foundation this evening, and I'm sure we'll have a very, very great time. Media, I'm moving around though. I'm not minding your camera. Okay, it's capturing everything. Okay, thank you. All right, so it's very timely and it's very, very needed. Also, it's timely because I don't want you to read for the sake of reading. I hope you know you can read for the sake of reading.
Yes.
You can study for the sake of studying. And when you've done those two well, when you write your exams, you write for the sake of, and they'll give you a grade for the sake of. And when you see the grade is not nice, you cry for the sake of, and you come back to the club for the sake of.
Love you.
It's just that easy, right? But I don't want you to study for the sake of studying. I don't want you to read for the sake of reading. There's a level beyond reading for the sake of reading. There's a level beyond studying for the sake of studying. And that is what I want to introduce us to this very evening. So if you don't have your writing material, make sure you're typing something in your notepad. All right. If you don't have a notepad, make sure you're recording. Just find a way of documenting what I'm about to share with you this very evening. And I'm very sure if you do what I'm about to share with you, all right, even though I want to lay the foundation this evening, I'm very sure you have a beautiful experience as we go into the evaluation process. Do you believe? You believe? Say, I believe.
I believe.
All right. So there are 3 core areas I want to talk about in the rest of this month, right? 3 core areas with respect to quick understanding. There are more areas to cover, but really I want to be very specific. So let's look at 3 core areas. Each one of this week, all right, we are going to be looking at each one of these areas. I'm going to be telling you specifically, all right? And also, Ryan, remind me, I've sent you a form. At the end of every club meeting, right, we'll push out a Google form that has questions. Each one of these core areas, we've designed a questionnaire that you have to help us respond to. As a community, for me, is an action-based project, right? I want to be able to tell you that this is how best you can study. I want to be able to tell you this is the best method of studying. So when you see the questionnaire this evening, please respond to it, right? I think it's a list of 30 or 20 questions. Respond to it, right? When you do, I have a gift for you, right? Once you submit, I have about 6, I think 5, 6 books for you. When I say gift, why were you thinking money? Why were you thinking money when I say gift? A book is a priceless gift. So when you're done filling out very form, click on the link. It will take you to a drive. You can download all of the books. If you're into business, you have some beautiful books there, like The Richest Man in Babylon is there. Is it Think and Grow Rich? I think, is it there? Then I know there is small business, big money. And that very, very gift I have for you. So Cecilia, I know you have small business, but you want big money. So ensure you Yetunde too. Okay, so 3 core areas. Number 1, learning pace. Number 1, learning pace. In this very month of April, I want us to focus on learning pace. All right. Number 2, I want us to focus on learning preference. Ensure you're writing. Number 1, I want us to focus on learning pace. Number 2, I want us to focus on learning preference. All right. And number 3, I want us to focus on learning difficulties. Are we good? So let me give a rerun of that. Number one, we're looking at learning pace. Number two, we are looking at learning preferences. And number three, we're looking at learning difficulties. We're in for a very serious moment. Ensure your neighbor is not distracting you. Don't even smile at Johnson, right? Don't smile at him. Just bone your face, right? Smile, smile, smile. Don't worry, smile. So learning pace, learning preferences, and learning difficulties. Now, I won't go into this in detail, but let me try to touch each one of them so you know where we're headed. When we talk about learning pace, this is what I'm saying. Every one of you here, you have a pace in which you use in learning, right? I know if you read something around learning pace, I'm sure you must have heard that some learners or some students are called fast-paced learners. In other words, as you are giving them the material, they are glancing at the material and it's entering like wave into their brain. That's not so true, all right? It's not so true. By the way, let me break down. How many of you saw the picture for the month of April? That guy that was reading and there was just fire everywhere. You saw it? You didn't see the picture? You didn't see it? So it does not, it don't usually happen like that, but we just needed to give you a sense of direction. You know, that person was Albert, actually. Albert was reading and it was flowing, right? But when it comes to learning pace, not Naftali. When it comes to learning pace, people feel, or from studies, we know there are people who are called fast-paced learners, mid-paced learners, then you have slow-paced learners, right? But I want to help you find yourself as we go through this journey of 1 month teaching section on quick understanding. I want you to be able to call yourself, okay, this is how far I can learn. And whether you are a slow-paced learner, that's not a disadvantage at all. It's not so much about learning quickly as it says, it's so much about understanding quickly. So you can learn and you can forget, but when you understand quickly, you're not likely to forget. Guys, are we understanding? Just stay with me. So learning pace talks about, right, the time you use in learning or the time you use in understanding. Then we have learning preferences. You'll be so amazed when we go into all of this in full section. So amazed. I was studying and it blew my mind off. We have a lot of learning preferences. But for the sake of tonight, let me just share with you 3. Some of you here, the best way, and you don't have to neglect this, because when you find it in the course of this very section, I want you to hold on to it, then I'll show you what to do next. Some of you here, the best way you learn, right, is not through reading and writing. Reading and writing gives a cap to your understanding or to how much you can learn. For some of you, you're highly visual. You are very, very visual. If you read for 2 hours, you're not likely to comprehend 20% of what you've read. But if we play you a movie of the same content, you will not forget. It will just be flowing through, and especially if your course is an explanatory course, it will just be flowing through. You are highly visual. But now, because you're highly visual, you're thinking like, no, instead of me to be highly visual, no, let me force myself and study. No. Once you identify that learning preference, you're supposed to stick with it and explore it. For some others, yours might be images, pictures. You're reading. If it's a blank text like what Mr. Rice has here, it's not interesting to you. You won't find it interesting. Even understanding might be very difficult. But if I give you the same document and there are images around it, you can see a boy, you can see a girl, you can see this. It is, you see one person's voice like that. Okay, quick understanding. So if I give you an image, I give you a document with different images like this, right? This doesn't have an image. But just imagine I'm telling you about dog and the anatomy of dog, the anatomy of a dog. Hope you know, if I give you a document that is like this, trying to explain the anatomy of a dog, I hope you know you cannot understand it. But there are people here that will understand it that way, and that's fine, right? But there are people who needs to see the dog, then see the structure of the dog. As they are seeing the structure of the dog, they won't likely forget it. So we have visual learners, we have even audio learners. Sometimes you just need to hear a clip, and when you hear that clip, you're not likely to forget. Guys, are we together? Then others, it might be you have to practice what you've read or what you've studied. For example, do we have any law students? Any law students? Law students? No law students. Are no law students in the club? Okay. But imagine if your course is, okay, let's so far, might not even make sense to you. You read about lesson plan, it's not making sense. You read about lesson notes, it's not making sense. Now, they now send you, say, go and teach JSS1. Now, you're forced to write a lesson note, it will make sense. Because when it makes sense now, I have told you, okay, they now tell you, deliver that lesson note. It will make sense. Because when you now start practicalizing it, that knowledge is likely to sink in. If you are the kind of person that learns through doing. Guys, are we understanding? Don't get lost. Just stay with me. All right, stay with me. All right, so that talks about learning preference, the best method in which you understand learning preference. All right. Then lastly, we have learning difficulties. This is one conversation many students try to shy away from. If I ask anybody here now, do you have a learning difficulty? I'm sure you tell me, no, I don't have. Okay, let me throw it open. Who has a learning difficulty here? Have you ever experienced any difficulty while trying to learn? Nobody.
Yes, sir.
Even if you don't even have, GST queue will make you have. When you stay on the queue for 2 hours, it will make you have. Or maybe you don't even have. You are attempting the test and the CBT and it goes off, or the computer goes off, or you submit and it tells you a score that that wasn't really your score. You immediately have difficulty. All right, but I'm trying to say this now, that every one of us, we have a difficulty that we should address, whether we know it or we don't know it. But if you are aware of it, it makes it very, very easy. For example, I have one. What's mine? If I don't read a material consistently, if I really want to do something with that very knowledge, if I don't read a material consistently, then practicalize that very knowledge from that material, I will lose it. It happens to me. So if I read something from maybe an author and I don't find a way of practicalizing that knowledge, or maybe even teaching it or sharing it, I'm likely to forget it. It's when I come back and I was like, okay, you said this thing. Okay, now it's making sense. You might have yours. Yours might be you read and you forget. Yours might be you read, you understand, you pick up the exam script or the exam question. Number one confuses you, you are blank. Yours might be some people like us when we're 100 level, maybe you've crammed. I will talk about it here because cramming is not an effective way of studying. Whether it works for you or it doesn't work for you, it's not effective. After you've cram, and you have somebody like Johnson that tells you, but guy, how far? Immediately just shaking your hand is shaking your brain. Once you just shake your brain, that's it. Biology is a this will be confusing. You're trying to pick up yourself. Then you know how your brain will work because you are looking for what biology is. It will not go and fetch something that is not related and give you. You now write it. When you get to be like, hey, it's quite a spot somebody there now.
Can relate.
So all of these are learning difficulties and we have to address them. So these are the 3 core areas. Can we repeat? Learning pace, number 1. Learning preferences. And learning difficulties. All right, so now with respect to these core areas, I have 4 objectives. Remember, what I'm doing today is just to lay the foundation. By next week, we'll begin to dive into all of this. But I want to give you a precept. I want to give you a foundation. You are allowed to go study about every one of these things I'm showing you. So our conversation can be very interesting. Also, when you're responding to that form, you know what we're saying. So I have 4 objectives. Number 1 is to help you find your learning pace. I've just given you a clue about learning pace. Now, my first objective in this teaching section in the next 4 weeks is to help you find your learning pace because you have one. All right, help you find your learning pace. Number 2 is to help you identify your learning preference. If I'm too fast, just let me know. Number 1, help you find your learning pace. Number 2, help you identify your learning preference. Okay. Number 3, to help you address learning difficulties that you might be facing. To help you address learning difficulties you might be facing. Then number 4, which is the most practical of all, is to help you improve your learning pace, explore other learning preferences, and address your learning difficulty. I'll take it again. Don't worry. When you are lost, don't look at your neighbor. Is it your neighbor that is talking? It's not me that is talking. Hey, look at me now. So I'll say that again. Number 4 is to help you improve your learning pace, explore other learning preferences, and address your learning difficulty. I'll take it from the top. My first objective is to help you find your learning pace. I want to help you know if you are a slow-paced learner, mid-paced learner, or fast-paced learner. right? It doesn't matter. You just want to know. So you know it and you begin to improve it. It's to also to help you explore other learning preferences. Even though your best method of reading and understanding is visual, that doesn't stop you from picking up a document and understanding it. It will be more of advantage to you, all right, if you can read and understand on paper and you can also see videos and understand. It's a double advantage for you. And all of this is possible. In fact, I think you're going to be capping how much you can learn if all you can learn is through visual. So what if you go to a place and you don't have internet or YouTube services is not available? Then you're stuck. Then number 3 is to help you address learning difficulties you might be facing. Then number 4, I will help you improve your learning pace, very certain, help you explore other learning preferences, then help you address your learning difficulties. Are we together? I like it when I see you writing notes. It's just so sweet in my mind. You're not just looking at me like this. Looking at me. Okay. Are we together? Are we getting it? Foundation. Maybe we'll find, where's Bayowa? It's not around. Okay, we'll find a way to get this document across to you so you have it in a case where you don't capture everything correctly. So those are my objectives. From this objective, I have questions. 4 questions. 4 questions. Don't worry, I'm not teaching. I'm outlining. So when we start going into the teaching section, you can go back home and tick, this objective has been achieved. I now know my learning pace. This objective has been achieved. I've now identified my learning preference. So number 1 question, what is learning pace? What is learning pace? You can't apply what you don't know, whether it's theoretical or conceptual knowledge. You can't apply what you don't know. So let's look at what is learning pace. I'm not explaining. These are my questions. Number 2, what are learning preferences? Number 1, what is learning pace? Number 2, what are learning preferences? Number 3, what are learning difficulties? All of those questions are coming from the objective, if you understand. Number 1, what is learning pace? Number 2, what are learning preferences? Number 3, what is learning difficulty? Let me slow down so you can catch it. Ruth, are you catching it? You've caught it already. If you've caught it, say I've caught it.
Got it.
If you haven't, say it. Omo, you fly, yo. If it's fly, you catch it back now. Are we on the same pace? Are we? We are, right? Then number 4, how can we improve our learning pace, learning preferences, and address learning difficulties? Just look at your objective and just put what is. Catch your number 1 objective, put it in your question, remove 2, and replace it with what? Replace the objective as questions. That's what I'm saying. Now that you have that, if you don't get it now, don't worry. I will snap and send to you. Don't be distracted. Now that I have laid the foundation of what we are going to be looking at in this month, let me now define what quick understanding is not. So you are very clear what I want to teach in this very section, right? I want to give you 3 points and I'll try to dwell on each one of them if we have time, right? So you understand what we are looking at and what we are not looking at with regards to quick understanding. Number 1, quick understanding is not measured by speed reading. We didn't come with podium, so I don't know where to keep this thing. I feel like entering my teaching shoe now, right? Quick understanding is not measured by speed reading. I've seen people on the internet and I'm very impressed. They pile up some books and they tell you, they make you feel bad. I don't know if it's me personally, but you see plenty book and you see somebody opens 120 books and they tell you, my 2025 was a beautiful journey. 2025 done. 120 books covered. Or more. I'm like, guy, how many books I even read for 2025? And you are tempted to feel bad. How many of you have been there?
Very well, sir.
Or maybe you have a friend that tell you, for guys, some of us in the Christian faith, guy, I read Genesis to Revelation every month. I'm like, guy, how far? And maybe sometimes they are true, maybe it's true. Right? So he's just read, I'm like, how you doing it? And sometimes I might feel like, is it me that is not serious in my life? But listen, guys, quick understanding is not measured by speed reading. You can speed read, but you can't speed understand. What does it take? Anybody has a book here? Give me a book, any author book. If you have a book, any book, not Jota, any book that was written. Anybody? Anybody? Nobody. Okay, let me use my diary now. How many of you have seen this guy? What's that guy's name? The guy that went for that competition in Americans Got Talent. That guy that used to say things that does not connect. Just too funny. That's the perfect example I was looking for. So, I just said, speed reading, that quick understanding is not measured by speed reading. And this is what I mean. During the American Got Talent, when he came out, he said, I have a talent. Say, okay, oh, you know how you say, oh, that's nice. Oh, what talent do you guys say? I'm a speed reader. I say, okay. Okay. And the guy opened his head. They were looking at his, they were trying to understand. I would say, this guy. I'm done. Say, what? You're done? It's the same thing that happened. Maybe not like this, but it's the same thing that happened when you try to cover 120 books a year. You can cover them. It takes nothing to go through them and just passively read them. But listen, you will have to engage more part of your brain if you want to understand what you've read. And the best part of understanding is that you are able to apply, you are able to teach others what you've read. So what's the use that I read 120 books and I'm not applying it? Of what use is it to come and post picture? It's the same thing I'm saying to you now. That as you even go through your individual materials, let it be said, you're going through it with the intention of teaching others what you've learned. Don't just go through 120 page of your PDF and you're just skimming. There are different forms of reading. So you're just skimming, you're just going through. You want to make the matters worse, you put on Spotify, you're just going through. You won't understand that way. Because quick understanding is not measured by how fast you read. It's not measured by that. It's measured about what you are able to get in the process of reading. So this is how I read. Maybe this can help you. I don't leave a chapter of any book I'm reading. Like I said before, if I don't understand it, and by understanding, not just head knowledge, by understanding, it makes a sense to me and I'm able to apply it. So maybe in your case, why should you leave chapter 1 to the next chapter when you know that chapter 1 has not entered your brain? Now you're trying to topple chapter 2. Force it down into your brain. It don't make sense. If you try to read that way, you find yourself like you're in a pursuit. You're trying to catch up with something you cannot even see. So the best thing is to stay with chapter 1. In I think it's 2020 or is it 2020? 2022, right? I was given a leadership position, right, from my place of worship. I clearly didn't know what leadership was all about. So my mentor introduced me to John C. Maxwell and he told me to pick up any material from him. So I picked up one of those material. It's called 21 Qualities of a Good Leader. I'm trying to help you understand speed in respect to quick understanding, that it doesn't matter. So I started to read and I noticed John Maxwell book, if you ever read his book, it's easy to read that book in a sitting because it's very interesting. Filled up with stories. So it's easy to knock the whole 21 chapters and you feel like you've read. So in the introduction, John Maxwell said something. He said, while you might think you are able to cover this book in a short period of time, I don't want you to be tempted. Stay with each chapter until you are able to apply that quality. If you are not able to apply that quality, don't move to the next quality. I said, this is a good caution for people like me, speed reader. So I started. Chapter 1 was on character. I stayed with it for a while. You have to develop character. He said character leads to credibility. If you are not a person of character, you won't be credible. People won't take you serious. I read it until I developed it. Then I left from character to communication. Are you seeing the journey? You see how it's happening. Nobody cares how much you've read. Nobody gives a word to how many books you've read. Even Guinness is not really impressed. Guinness will not call you and tell you, oh, congratulations, you read 120 books. This is my reservation about religion or religious people that tell you we've studied everything. You've studied everything and we can't see the proof in your life. So what's the essence of studying? It makes no sense to me. You tell me you have studied Genesis to Revelation. Permit my bias now, right? I've studied Genesis to Revelation. And in a part of that Genesis to Revelation talks about love. And you can't still love people. What have you studied? Somebody understand what I'm saying now? What have you studied? They say, give, it shall be given unto you. Your 1 naira can never be anybody's 1 naira. It's yours. It's me, myself, and I. You've not studied. And you don't understand what you've read. It's that simple. Because whatever you can't read, whatever you've read that you can't, teach others and apply, you don't understand. You don't understand. So I journeyed with that book. I'm sure I journeyed that book for at least 12 months. If you need to see the book is rickety in my house because folded paper, highlighter on highlighter, green highlighter, then I topple pink on top it. I was stained with it. And this was very, very integral because I didn't even see Life University by this time, 2022. I was not picturing you. I was not seeing you. But just imagine if I had skipped and I was just reading, first character of leadership is character. Second quality of leadership is communication. Is that what I'll come and be reciting for you? A for apple, B for bar. Is that what I will come and be telling you? I'm sure if I had done it that way, I won't be a good leader. I won't learn the art of relationship. I won't know how to connect to people. I won't be a good communicator. I'm talking and it's making sense to you because I studied and I studied well. So what that means is that if you are a sociologist, please don't just study because you want to pass the course. Study that when you come outside. Hey, oh my God, when you come outside, when they say, do we have any sociologists in the room? You just stand up and say, yes, sir. I solve sociological problems. My name is so. Hey, oh. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Oh, God of mercy. Are you getting it? Are you getting what I'm saying? To be very frank, I'm serious. For example, they say you're studying history. We don't expect you to know the history of everything. But please, the day we call you and say, please, we're trying to get the correct date. When was the First World War? Don't say, Omo. Please, don't break our hearts. Don't break our hearts. Don't break our hearts. Even if you don't know the exact date, and I'm sure Johanna, you're taking note of this. In history, when we read history, they can permit you. You don't need to know the specific date. For example, today is 8, right? You don't need to know that today is 8. You don't need to say on the 8th of April. What century are we in now? 21st. You can just say in the 21st century and history will give you mark. But all I'm saying is, whatever course you're currently studying, if you have the intention of practicalizing that course or working with that course, please, let it be said that when you are done, you would be able to consult for people around that field. Practical knowledge. And now I'm back to ESK. You are able to solve problems. You know what problem solvers? We must connect everything to problem. For example, this is my field. Education. I eat from education. I make money from education. I sleep with education. Everything I do is education. My whole life is education. I'm solving educational problems. Why? Because of understanding. I'm speaking to you today now. Tomorrow I'm speaking to postgraduate students, masters, PhD. Some other time we're talking to secondary school. It's just my life. Why? Practical knowledge, because I understand what I'm doing. Guys, who is ready for quick understanding? Who is ready for quick understanding? Quick understanding. Are you getting it? So somebody say quick understanding. It's not measured by speed reading. Let me check my second point. You don't have time. What if you don't have time?
Yes.
I'm wondering if you tell me you don't have time as a student to study, then I'm asking you, what are you doing with the time? Let me state this. I stated this in my book. For some of you who don't have copies of my book, you can let me know. We can provide free copies to some extent. I said that all grades, whether average, don't be distracted, please. I said in that book that all grades, right, whether good grades, whether excellent grade or average grades, are a function of time. Now, what you really have to get good grades is time. So your highest asset as students is your time. The highest thing you should be doing on campus, or the highest percentage of your time should be going directly to study, not any other thing. If you're here, you're giving 20% to studying, and you're giving 80% to other things, no problem. Time will tell. But I'm sure you should be able to give 80%, at least 80, okay, at least 70. Okay, let's do it. 70 is in now. 70% of your time to studying. So number 2, quick understanding is not a reading marathon. It's not the number of hours you've read. I know I'm shaking somebody's understanding about this. Quick understanding is not measured about the number of hours you read. That you read for 10 hours does not mean you understand. If somebody understand what I'm saying, I've broken down understanding for you now. Practical knowledge. You can do, you can apply, you can teach. You can read for 10 hours. But having read for 10 hours, if you can't teach, if you can't do and apply, if you can't transfer that same knowledge, then quick understanding has not occurred. So it's not measured by the number of hours you spend on it. In fact, you can spend 3 hours on a material, yet you're not even understanding it, confusing you the more. When I started the journey of academic excellence, I mean, trying to teach students now, there's a professor I was following. And what do they call them now? Professors that are senior professor. Is it? Somebody help me. The word is coming, but Emeritus professor, right? Martin Lubell. I follow some of his videos. You can Google him or YouTube him. He has 2 amazing videos on quick understanding. So he was trying to explain that when you try to read for 5 hours, if you are not designed to read for 5 hours, if your brain cannot accommodate 5 hours of reading, and you try to force yourself to read for 5 hours, your brain will comply, but understanding will not take place. So if you've trained your brain to understand in the first 30 minutes of your study, this is what will happen. First 30 minutes, you understand everything you've read. If you try to push beyond the first 30 minutes, this is what will happen. You are still with the material, it's still in your hand, you're still seeing it, but this happens to your understanding. But listen, the reading hours is still going up, but the understanding is going down. Practical, I saw this very clearly. It's when you've trained your brain to move from 30 minutes progressively to 1 hour. Let me even ask, how many of you have a study timetable? Study timetable. Study timetable. Study timetable. Please don't break my heart. Now, how many of you have a study timetable? A personal study timetable. If you don't have one, just let me know so we can send the soft copy. You can find somewhere to print it and just write your courses. Now that I've told you, how many of you don't have a reading timetable? You people. But that's fine. Please, Naftali, remind me, we'll send it. You print. It's just one page. You print somewhere. It's designed very well. You'll be seeing your grade. You write your grade by yourself, the number of hours you want to read, and you place it. I was with Class Fund, the student of law, some 2-3 weeks ago, or maybe 1 month ago. So during the question and answer, a lady asked a question. That's why when I try to study, I get distracted. When I try to study, I say, okay, how many hours do you even read? How many hours do you study? She say, as the spirit leads. Me, I was confused. I say, you can't allow the spirit to be leading you. When it comes to studying your book, hello, guys, stay with me now. What she implies by the spirit lead is that once I just start reading, I can read as much as I can. That is not a structured way of reading. No, don't deceive yourself. You have 9 courses, you allow the spirit to lead you. How is it going to lead you? You will do a book, you will do a timetable and say, I want to study 30 minutes every day. It will get to a point, 30 minutes becomes too small to study. Then your brain will tell you, can we do 45 minutes? Then you grow. It's better to grow progressively than trying to do a reading marathon. And at the end of the day, you do TDB, and yet TDB does not translate to quick understanding. Lastly, quick understanding is not a function of... What's that thing you were saying? There's something you were saying. I can't connect it anymore, right? Quick understanding is not a function of quick reading scheme. This is what I mean by quick reading scheme. How many of you, when you were in secondary school, I'm rounding up now, they told you that the best way to read and understand is to take caffeine? Yeah. Caffeine. See, don't deceive yourself. Oh. Don't deceive yourself. Some of these things doesn't work. On the long run, they will have a prolonged effect on your brain. Sorry? Sleep has its own time. I'm not saying you should not sleep, oh. Guys, hope you are getting what I'm saying. I'm not saying you should not sleep, oh. You should sleep your 7 hours as students. But all I'm saying is, you don't have to take caffeine to read and understand. What's that other thing? It's not just caffeine they call it. Nescafe. An energy drink. All of those things are quick reading schemes. It doesn't work nothing. Fearless. If you think it works, it's just in your brain. The highest it can do, maybe Nescafe can do for you, is to keep you awake. Or maybe you were sarcastic like me. They tell you put your leg inside cold water when you want to read. Ah, come on now, guys. Come on, be serious with your life. Why would you have to check your book? You put it on the table and you have to put your leg in cold water so you not sleep. Some will tell you if you want to best read, read with the candle on so that you can burn the midnight candle. I just hope you don't burn your landlord's house. I just hope so. You are relating what I'm saying now because these are some of the things we are doing. Thank you, these are some of the things we're doing. What I know can help you is what I'm about to teach you in these next 3 weeks of this section. Don't miss a day. Caffeine will not work. Lipton will not work. Miss Lipton and pure water, whatever you are doing, drink the Lipton cold, drink it hot, it will not work. What is about to work is what I will show you. For the last 8 years, I've been in school, or maybe 9 years, I've been in school. I've not had the reason to read, to take Nescaf. What is Nescaf? To do what now? What if after you're reading, or maybe while you're reading, you didn't fall asleep, right? You weren't falling asleep, or you weren't feeling sleepy. You get to the exam hall, you start feeling dizzy. The Nescaf is activated in the exam hall. How do you manage that? So the best way to read and understand, just eat, make sure you're not hungry when you're about to read. Make sure you're not overfed when you're about to read. That's the balance. Then try to read. Then in the next sections of this week, I'm so sure, when you pick up that material, the material will be smiling. Say, like Albert is entering my head. Put your hands together for yourself. Come on. All right. I don't know why I feel like somebody has a question. We've never done this before. We've never asked a question on the normal club day. So one question, just one. Ask the question everybody wants to ask in their mind. Find a way. One question. Ruth. Okay.
Is it compulsory like to remote that you must read at night before you pass or yes?
Good question. She's asking, is it compulsory that you must read at night so that you can pass the exam? The answer is no. During these learning preferences, you understand that you are each designed differently. There are people who their best time to study. I've told you we did questionnaire on this now. When we returned, the people said the best time to study is during the dawn hour, very early in the morning. But not for everybody, right? For you now, maybe the best time to study is hot sun. Sun is everywhere, everywhere. But once you just pick the material, it's like the sun is shining inside your brain. But for other people, they can't dare read during the sunny time. You know, you need to find out when is the best time. And I think with this question should. When is the best time to study? For someone like me, the best time to study 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. My brain is fresh, very fresh. I can comprehend. All right, you can it has a way it used to flow. It flows well, right? Late in the evening, if I'm not stressed, I can try. I stay in campus 7, 8, 9 sometimes. During those 3 hours again, I can try. It can enter, right? So just discover what works for you and adapt it and own it. That is working for Yetunde 2 a.m. does not mean you read and understand by 2 a.m. Quick understanding is not predicated on a specific time. It's predicated on what works for you, right? And what works for you must be in line with the principles of quick understanding. All right, with this viewpoint of life, I hope I was able to convince you, not to confuse you, that
Quick understanding is not measured by how many.
All right, thank you so much. Let's welcome Ryan back to the platform.
Come on.